Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Claudia and I'm happy to have you here at my channel. Hey, I want you to be aware that, this is my spiritual journey. We are all on our own, but I really believe that a lot of the things that I'm going through, that I've experienced, are things that can help you if you can, stop to begin connecting some dots. I also want you to know that this is not a path that everybody can undertake. When I call you courageous and brave, it's because many, many challenges will face you, that you will encounter and you will have to face when you choose a path that takes you on an inward journey. Very few people will understand what you're talking about, what you're thinking about, why you are, doing this. And sometimes they'll think you're doing something to them. So I just want you to be aware to make sure you always do your best to stay true to what feels the best for you, because it is not anybody else's journey. It's a solo journey, but we have to do it because we live here. And so there are times you're going to encounter your family, your friends and whatnot, and they are not going to understand a word you're saying once things begin happening of a spiritual nature. Okay, with that in mind, I left off with us leading up to Christmas and how I came to Korea. I was I think I was walking along the Columbia River in Washington State, and alone, because I was living by myself at that time in a rented place, and I was saying, something has to change here. I can't keep going on like this. And I had tried to get rentals. I had even gone through an entire process of low income housing and that sort of thing. And it was not for me. I mean, we're talking old, beat up places that they can afford. And yes, they're giving you this, that, and the other thing. But to me, all of a sudden, one day, it was like, this is a trap. Once you do this, you're committed and you're stuck with that. And I just prayed about it. And I said, there has got to be another way because the promise is that I will take care of all of your needs. Well, I think by then I had been through so many years of things shedding a skin, if you will. The snake crawling out of the skin has to lodge its head between rocks to get that skin off. But it knows it's got to do that. And when you take on a spiritual journey, it's very much like that. There's things you have to do. And I know this was not meant for me. So, and it tied up every single, nickel I had. And there's no freedom in being connected with government things, because now I'm subject to, I will tell you, I have since 1990 not had a regular doctor. I have used non-traditional therapies to remain healthy. Now, I'll talk about that in a different video, but once you get into a government system, you're tied to their medical, what they intend for you to do, and you have to do it or you lose your benefit, and you can even be tossed out of the system. So anyhow, I knew this is not who I am. It's just not for me. And so I began having that conversation September of last year, 2024. I really want to turn back the clock and start all over some days. Have you ever felt like that? Okay, and I began around October having very, very quickly began having feelings I should go to Korea. And I began looking up different things about the society. And I mean, I had watched other things, but really began delving into societal matters, living opportunities, and that sort of thing. Comparison of the dollar to the Korean won, transportation and whatnot. So I began realizing it might be a possibility, but this feeling was getting stronger. And all of a sudden, one day, I knew that I should pull the trigger on this. And so it was like I couldn't sleep, and I think it might have been 2 o'clock in the morning, and I saw a flight. Now, I had air miles that had been saved up from when I had my office. And so I looked at air miles plus fee, and I came here, and on December 25th, there was a $19 ticket. A $19 ticket. And I went, is this a sign? And I went, I actually heard in my mind the phrase that I always use: if you're swimming upstream, it's not for you. If the way is made clear, then yes, it's for you. And it was the minute that came, I was reminded, they were telling me my own thoughts. And the minute I did that, I said, okay, I can do that. So that flight I booked, and then had trouble with my passport. And it wasn't until Christmas that I could actually take the flight. And the airlines, and I will use a name because it's a West Coast airline with an Eskimo on it. Does that help you? Saved it for me. They recovered the miles. They saved that opportunity, and they said, when you're ready, you'll let us know. So I went about getting a new passport and took that, and that took me, all the way up to just about Christmas. So that's what I did, and I did not tell anybody I was going to do it. Now, it's very important when you're on a spiritual journey and you've made these are choices at this point, because it's coming from inside. This isn't a head decision. I mean, the head gets involved because you're like going, this is too good to be true. But your heart is saying, I'm making it that way so that you will pull the trigger on that. Are you, what's the matter with you? And so I just didn't tell anybody. And I kept saying, well, I'm going to be gone for Christmas. I was getting invites, and I said, no, I'm going to be gone for Christmas. Where are you going? I said, just stay tuned, and I'll check in with you on Christmas. And so that's how I left. And the reason is, my friends, when you make a decision or a choice that is too far beyond the reach of others who are saying, how can she afford that? How can she go do that? But I can tell you the Korean won is close to 40% less than the dollar. So my dollar gets me a really great exchange rate. Okay, so that's what I did. I hopped that flight on Christmas. And I've never been so happy. And you are seeing me in this, and we'll talk a little bit more about continuing on with what is actually happening spiritually. Because that was a very, very courageous thing to do. And it affected me profoundly spiritually. I feel like I took that step up from down here to up here. And since then, and it's been only 3 months, many, many things have come up in the notches. I keep taking little steps and growing more spiritually. So thank you for joining me, and like, subscribe, share, and comment. You know that algorithm helps. And I want you to know You're way more than you think you are. I'm proof. Till next time.